site where he'll be posting updates throughout the day. And before we say goodbye to the Mirage, we want to take you back with a little history and a closer look at the changing Las Vegas Strip skyline. Here to talk all about it, let's bring in, he's a UNLV professor and gaming historian. He's Dr. David Schwartz. He's joining us live here on ARC Las Vegas. David, thank you for being with us. You've been on faculty there at UNLV since 2001. I took a look. You've watched a lot of change since then. Can you put our minds to ease a little bit? Do you play any role here as an educator in reminding people that, oh yeah, maybe change is good?
Yeah, change is good if you think about it. The Mirage is built where the Castaways used to be, so it replaced another resort, and another resort is going to place it. That being said, the Mirage is very significant to history.
Now, curious, from the Dolphins, the Siegfried and Roy, and the volcano, has there been any talk about what we might see when it comes to attractions with the replacement, the Hard Rock Casino?
Yeah, well, as was said, they're going to have that giant guitar-shaped hotel tower, so that's going to be an attraction. If you look at other Hard Rocks around the country, they have a lot of memorabilia, so a lot of that rock and roll attitude and rock and roll memorabilia.
David, you've seen a lot of transitions over the years. Is there one that stands out in your mind? It could be the Mirage or maybe something else that you think Las Vegas really needed.
I think the Mirage opening did really spark that growth of the 90s. I think without it, Las Vegas still would have done all right, but it wouldn't have been as upscale as it was, which did lead to so much growth. So, to me, that is the most significant change on the Strip, probably in its history.
With the Mirage, David, and it's when it was built, what was it billed at 34 years ago? How was it billed? How was it sold to Las Vegans? How was it sold to the community as going to be this massive change on the Strip?
The Mirage was sold as a resort hotel with the casino attached. Earlier casinos were basically a casino with a hotel attached. So really, this was the first resort in Vegas that put the luxury first, that put the non-gaming first, and the gambling was secondary. And that is the change that happened on the Strip throughout the rest of the 90s and all the way up till today.
Now, speaking about gambling, something was historically happening this past week or so with the tons of money that they were giving away. I believe it was $1.5 million. It was insane. Now, with that rush coming to an end, gambling, when it comes to the Hard Rock as well, do you expect there to be a big rush when they open their doors? Because this is going to be a big deal.
Yeah, people seem to like coming to casinos when they first open and when they close. There's rumors when they open that the slots are looser than usual. People do get lucky sometimes. So yeah, probably when the Hard Rock opens its doors in a couple of years, there'll be a lot of people lining up to come in and see what's going on.
David, obviously you're a pro at talking about all of this. When you speak to your students, how do they receive this information when you talk about the ups and downs and the growth that Las Vegas has seen? I mean, I would imagine they're shocked at how much it has expanded.
Yeah, I think when we look at it in a microcosm, people are surprised, but it's kind of like a garden where you've got spring and summer where it grows, fall and winter where things don't grow, but spring and summer comes again. So the whole idea is that, yeah, Mirage is closing, but there will be growth in the spring. Something is going to replace it.
David, I don't mean to age myself here, and I'm only speaking for me here.
Have fun.
But the Mirage opened 34 years ago. When did 34 become old, David? Like, when did 34 become outdated?
Man, I mean, that's like I was watching a thing on TV, and they had somebody who was in grad school in the early 90s. And they were 50. I'm like, what? No, early 90s was like, five years ago. How
right.
could they be that?
Right.
So I'm in the same boat with you right there.
So, David, okay, we've asked you plenty of questions and we've given you our opinion on things, but I have to ask you, what's one of your favorite things about the entire existence of the Mirage?
I think it was just that it was so different, that Las Vegas was already successful, but people took a chance. Steve Wynn and his team took a chance. A lot of people were skeptical, but they proved the skeptics wrong, and that really redefined Vegas. So I think it's that, when you've got a good idea, just go with it. I think also the other thing that stands out to me is the relationships people made, the families that worked there, the people who worked there, the connections they made.
David Schwartz with UNLV, thank you so much for joining us this morning. So much insight, so much to learn, and we're glad that you're at the head of the table when it comes to teaching our young students about all of this. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thanks.